MLS Week 9 Picks and Predictions. I am Mike Guillaume, your host, Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. We've got soccer coming up this week. Week 9, a lot of games coming your way. Midweek games as well as weekend games. There's games Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday. Lots of games, 26 to be exact. So hang tight, a little bit of a different format today. I'm only going to be giving you a quick breakdown of why I expect that winner, not a long, drawn-out one like in the previous episodes when we only have 13 games. So, with that being said, guys, hit that like button down below if you like soccer. And you know what? Hit that subscribe button as well. Turn on that notification bell so you don't miss any time we go live, whether that's through picks and predictions, live stream reactions, regular podcast episodes, or any other videos coming your way. So let's get in to these games immediately. San Jose Earthquakes traveling across country to visit Orlando City SC. The Earthquake comes in at plus 380 odds, Orlando at minus 140, and the draw at plus 260. This one, simple for me. I've got Orlando City to get the victory. It's always a struggle for the West Coast teams to come over all the way to the East Coast and play. So being a midweek game like this, I expect Orlando City to get the job done. New England Revolution hosting Red Bulls of New York. Odds in this one plus 330 for the Red Bulls, minus 123 for the Revs, and a draw comes in at plus 250. My pick in this game is the Revs at home to beat the Red Bulls. Yes, both teams coming off good victories, but the Revs are the class of the Eastern Conference. I'm going with them, minus 123. Philadelphia Union hosting Columbus Crew SC. This one, the Crew come in as big-time dogs, plus 295. The Union is favorites, minus 111, and the draw at plus 245. These two teams, I have a very hard time separating them. The Union with a good comeback draw in Atlanta last week. Columbus seems to be picking things up. I'm going with the draw in this matchup. My pick, plus 245, going with the draw between Philly and Columbus. New York City FC hosting Atlanta United from Red Bull Arena. Another game for NYCFC that's not at Yankee Stadium. This one, the odds come in at Atlanta at plus 400, New York City at minus 172, and the draw at plus 320. I have flirted with going with the draw here, but I can't do it. I've got to go at New York City. They did fight valiantly against the Revs, and Atlanta just hasn't been the same this season. So I'm going with New York City to get the victory in this matchup. Cincinnati and the Chicago Fire. This one from Soldier Field in Chicago. The Fire come in at minus 151 odds. FC Cincinnati plus 350 and the draw at plus 309. My pick in this one, Chicago Fire to win. Not often are you going to get my pick as the Chicago Fire to win because they're not that good, but there's a few teams that are worse than them, and one of them is FC Cincinnati. Just can't seem to get it on track. Feel bad for those fans, but my pick is the Chicago Fire. Guys, check out my bookie right here, as you can see on the screen. We're running a promo with my bookie. Guys, these guys have the best odds in the business, hands down. There's no question about it. My bookie, I've been doing picks and predictions now for almost 2 years. I've been using my bookie for about as long as I've been doing picks and predictions. Best odds in the business. Go over to my bookie now. Sign up today. Use promo code SOP20 when you sign up. You're going to get a 50% match. So if you deposit $100 today, you're getting free $50 from MyBookie and Sons of a Pitch Soccer. Guys, MyBookie is the official sports book of Sons of a Pitch Soccer. I'm wagering about $1,300 a week through MyBookie. Make sure you guys go over there and check it out. If you want to win big, you got to do it through MyBookie with those awesome, amazing odds. And again, how can you go wrong when you're picking up a free 50% match on your deposit? Go big, go home. That's how I like to do it. MyBookie, awesome odds. You can bet live. You can bet on anything. These guys have everything. All other sports as well. Even if you're doing more betting than just MLS. Me, myself, I only bet on MLS. And sometimes the national teams. But it's soccer. It's CONCACAF soccer. Now, go on over to mybookie.ag. Enter in promo code SOP20 when you sign up and get that 50% match. Tell them Sons of a Pitch sent you. You'll be glad you did it. I'll be glad you did it. Make sure you head over to mybookie.ag and use that promo code SOP20 today. Back to the games. Minnesota and Austin FC. Minnesota coming in at minus 103 odds. Austin at plus 260. A draw comes in at plus 250. This one, Minnesota has started to pick things up. They did draw with Dallas last week. Austin with the draw at home at Q2 Stadium. This one, Austin's going back on the road up to Minnesota. My pick, Minnesota at minus 103 to get it done. DC United and Montreal Fcf Montreal. Montreal being the home team. DC United on the road. Odds come in at plus 125 for Montreal, plus 200 for DC United, and a draw at plus 245. I've got DC United. They've been playing much better soccer as of late. Montreal, just kind of middling. Not doing great, not doing bad. One of those teams you never can count on. So I'm going DC United since they won some money for me last week, and I'm sticking with them. All right, Houston against Portland. Houston comes in at plus 114 odds at home against Portland at plus 204, a draw at plus 265. My pick in this one is a draw. I'm going with the draw at plus 265. Houston has been doing a lot of draws lately, big time. Last week, a draw against LAFC. They've actually drawn LAFC twice this season. Portland, I can see this happening with Portland traveling to Houston. My pick, the draw at plus 265. Nashville SC hosting Toronto FC on Wednesday night. This game will be live right here on Sons of a Pitch, an American soccer podcast. For this one, the odds come in at plus 102 for Nashville, plus 260 for Toronto FC, and a draw at plus 240. Nashville, a disappointing result last week. Toronto FC, a disappointing result for the last month and a half. TFC is trash right now. I cannot pick them. I'm going Nashville. My pick, Nashville to get it done at home, plus 102. And Chris Armas may be fired by the end of this week. Colorado Rapids visiting Sporting Kansas City. Colorado comes in at plus 290. SKC at a minus 123. A draw at plus 285. How can you bet against Sporting Kansas City at Children's Mercy Park? I can't. My pick, Sporting Kansas City minus 123, even though Colorado is playing well at the moment, going with SKC at home. All right, Seattle Sounders versus Real Salt Lake. Man, Seattle, big-time favorites, minus 166. RSL comes in at plus 420, and the draw comes in at plus 300. Guys, this one's simple, too. No pick other than the Sounders. You can't pick against Seattle right now. They went to LA, got the victory over the LA Galaxy. They're the top team in all of MLS, in the lead of the Supporters' Shield standings. Minus 166, my pick, Seattle Sounders. Vancouver hosting LA Galaxy. Vancouver at plus 185, Galaxy at plus 131, and a draw at plus 250. My pick, LA Galaxy to bounce back and get back on track at plus 131. Vancouver can't seem to figure it out. They're just like Toronto. Horrible team. Can't get a victory. My pick, LA Galaxy at plus 131. All right. LAFC hosting FC Dallas. LAFC coming off a disappointing draw. Their odds are minus 238. FC Dallas at plus 520. And a draw at plus 380. LAFC should win this game. They're heavy favorites. They were heavy favorites last week against Houston. And look what happened. My pick, until LAFC starts playing better, my pick's a draw. I'm going plus 380 for the draw. LAFC's just not firing on all cylinders right now. I'm going with the draw in this matchup. All right, guys, heading to the weekend games now. The Friday night game, the lone Friday night game. Orlando City visiting Inter Miami in the Battle of Florida. This one dead even as far as odds go. Plus 154 for Orlando City. Plus 154 for Inter Miami, and the draw at plus 240. I'm going with Orlando. They're a stronger team than Inter Miami, so my pick is Orlando at plus 154 to get the victory. Now, moving to Saturday. Sporting Kansas City hosting LAFC. The odds plus 127 for SKC, plus 175 for LAFC, and a draw comes in at plus 260. Now, again, like I said a minute ago, LAFC's not been playing the best. Sporting Kansas City at home, but you got to go with them. My pick, Sporting Kansas City to get the victory over LAFC at plus 127 odds at home, Children's Mercy Park. Got to go with it. Next up, TFC hosting FC Cincinnati. FC Cincinnati comes in at plus 440 odds. Toronto FC at minus 185. And a draw comes in at plus 309. This one, as hard as it is for Toronto, this will be a make-or-break game for Chris Armas. I feel if Toronto FC loses to FC Cincinnati, Chris Armas will be out of a job at the end of this weekend. However, I believe that Toronto FC will get the victory at minus 185. My pick is Toronto FC. Again, like I mentioned earlier with Cincinnati playing Chicago, Chicago's horrible. Same thing with Toronto FC, but when you're playing Cincinnati, usually you'll get it done. RSL hosting Houston Dynamo. RSL at plus 104, Dynamo at plus 235, and the draw comes in at plus 240. Houston with a lot of draws lately. RSL, a victory over Vancouver last week. I like RSL at home. My pick at plus 104, RSL to get the victory over Houston. RSL, completely different team on the road than they are at home. I'm going with Real Salt Lake for the victory. Chicago Fire hosting the Philadelphia Union. Philly comes in at plus 154 odds. Chicago Fire come in at plus 148 and the draw at plus 254. This one's all Philly. I like Philly in this game. My pick, plus 154, Philadelphia Union to get the victory on the road at Soldier Field. Just a better team than Chicago overall. And that's it. Now, next game up here on that Saturday night, the 26th, Nashville SC hosting CF Montreal. Nashville comes in at minus 153. Montreal at plus 480, and a draw comes in at plus 235. Nashville and Montreal played to a draw earlier in the season. Montreal was much better of a team then. Nashville still kind of steady. I'm going Nashville. My pick at minus 153 is Nashville SC to get the victory. Seattle Sounders hosting Vancouver Whitecaps. Odds, minus 294 for Seattle, plus 680 for Vancouver, draw for plus 380. No question, Seattle whoops them up, 3-4-0. Get it done, Seattle. My pick, the Sounders, to beat Vancouver. LA Galaxy visiting San Jose Earthquakes in the old Cali Classico. Plus 235 odds for the Galaxy on the road, minus 105 for the Earthquakes, and the draw comes in at plus 275. This one, I see the draw happening. I like LA Galaxy right now. They're playing good soccer, even though they lost to the best team in the league, Seattle Sounders, last week. In San Jose, you really never know what you're going to get. Sometimes they show up, they draw good teams. That's my pick here, is the draw at plus 275. Minnesota United visiting Portland Timbers. Portland comes in at plus 100, double your money. Minnesota at plus 215, and a draw at plus 280. I'm going Portland. At home at Providence Park. Minnesota's turned a corner, but they're not quite there yet. Portland Timbers get it done. Double your money. That's my pick. Atlanta United hosting Red Bulls of New York. Minus 104 for Atlanta, plus 254 for the Red Bulls, and plus 245 for the draw. This one, this is a tough one. Red Bulls always seem to play well in Atlanta, and Atlanta's struggling right now. So you know what? I'm going to go with the dog in this one. I'm picking Red Bulls of New York, plus 254 odds to beat Atlanta at home. Here comes three more games for you. DC United visiting New York City FC. NYCFC at minus 208. DC United at plus 500, and the draw comes in at plus 330. New York City played well last week. I like NYCFC. I got the Citizens minus 208 to get the victory over DC United. Columbus Crew visiting Austin FC. Oh, the matchup we've all been waiting for. Anthony Precourt, the former owner of the Columbus Crew, facing off as Austin FC in brand new Q2 Stadium against Columbus. This is going to be a hell of a game just because of that by itself. Austin at plus 123 odds, Columbus at plus 195, and the draw at plus 240. I see a draw playing out in this one. I think Austin is a good team. Columbus is a good team. If this game was in Columbus, I would go with the Crew, but I'm going draw plus 240 as my pick. All right, guys, last game. Wow, lots of games this weekend. New England Revolution visiting FC Dallas. The Revs come in at plus 185. The FC Dallas, come in at plus 154. Draw at plus 200. It's the Revs. Best team in the East. Dallas, you never know what you're going to get. Usually they play better at home, but I'm going with the Revs. Plus 185. That's my pick. And there you have it, boys and girls. Those are all of my picks for Week 9. 26 games. Wow. Good luck to you. Make sure you guys hit up mybookie.ag. Use that promo code SOP20 at checkout. When you're signing up, not at checkout, but when you're signing up, and you'll get your first deposit 50% match. Deposit $100, they're going to give you $50 for free. So go on over there, check it out, and sign up at MyBookie today. And good luck this weekend, guys. See you next week.